Welcome back to a brand new week of Head Over Heels, guys. My name is Maggie, and today is a very special episode. Now, I know I say this every week that it's special, but really, today is really special because we've got someone very special on the show. She's also one of the most requested guests. Actually, I literally get a message every week to get her on the show. Well, guys, today is your day. I finally got this busy woman out of a busy schedule to be here on Head Over Heels, guys. Give it up to content creator, singer, songwriter, all-rounder, girl boss, Jenn Chia.
Hello. It's Jenn here. I am excited to be here and nervous at the same time. I don't know why I'm nervous, Maggie. Help me.
You know what? I'm nervous as well because, we're friends, I know, but interviewing a friend.
No, I think it's
sometimes.
because we're friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yes. Maybe if we're not friends, I wouldn't feel this
Because we
way.
know each other, but at the same time, we don't know certain things about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's like slightly awkward for us. But I think there's a lot of things that we want to uncover, right?
A lot. I have so much to unpack. I want to know so much about you. I think a lot of listeners do as well. But before that, how are you really? That I always start the podcast with this question now.
I am feeling really good. Recently, I've not really been sleeping well because of a certain video that is just uploaded yesterday.
The one, the truth?
Yeah, the truth.
Love it.
I think that took up a lot of my mental capacity, and the moment that it was up, I finally could sleep like a baby. So I woke up today feeling really good.
I'm glad I picked today then.
That's true.
Because I think you would have been in a very different headspace if, the video's not out yet, you still have things pending. But anyway, before we get into all the details, nitty-gritty stuff about, SOIMJENN, who you're about, what made you and what you do, how was MCO for you, girl? Honestly.
MCO, oh my gosh, you're talking about the first one, the original one?
And right now, CMCO and everything else, like the whole year, how has it been for you?
Oh my goodness. Let's start with the first one,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Very quickly, I went into depression. Very quickly, and
Yeah.
I noticed the symptoms, and I
Yeah.
kind of like caught myself. But I didn't know how to navigate that feeling because there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And there was like fear around me. I go if John goes out to get groceries or whatever, coming back, I like spray him completely to sanitize.
Yeah.
And there was this sense of fear and hopelessness. So after that, I started my live stream, like daily live streams.
Life's too short.
Life's too short, that's right. And that kind of kept me going, and getting to know people, learning more about people got me out of my shell. So that was the first MCO. And then right now with the CMCO, there is a sense of confusion. But because I've got a bigger team right now, I feel like the team kind of looked to me to keep it all together as well. So that kind of motivated me to make sure, all right, everyone is here. Let's see how we can pivot this together. So because of that first experience, this right now with the CMCO, I realized I'm a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
I think another thing that I want to talk about is also how much we don't need.
Oh my gosh, yes, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
The first MCO kind of taught me that there's not much you need to survive. And since then, that kind of like has always kind of waved at the back of my head whenever I feel like, oh, that shot needs to be perfect. That I need to get that many views, those kind of things.
Yeah.
I realize those are not important.
Yeah.
We're surviving. So
I agree.
I feel like I've gotten wiser.
So nice. I like that. And it's true. Like life's too short to stress about stuff that don't matter and people that don't matter.
But you need to get to that realization.
Of course. And
Yeah.
to get there, I think you have to first go through all these anxiety, fear,
Yes.
depression.
It's important.
To work out the hard stuff before, reaching that realization. Can. Also congrats on the new space, by the way. I saw what you posted.
That was something we've always wanted because where we are at the office right now with the growing team, we wanted another space to kind of have a place for me to shoot properly.
Right. So you guys are not like replacing your initial space.
No.
Right now, it's like a second additional space for you guys to work on more stuff.
That's
Amazing.
Right. That's right. This growth has been it's been exponential because of the core team that's in. So we have John, Paul, Rose, and myself. 4 of us. I feel we have a very, very seamless working experience, and that kind of like moved us much faster.
Yeah.
So with this new space, you know, we have so many ideas, so many things that we want to do. So it's very, very exciting.
I've seen how you guys work. I think you have really found that dream team for you, really. Like, you guys does such a great job with everything. And the way you guys communicate is like you get each other.
Yes.
That's so important.
Yes.
Without actually saying, he gets you, for instance, right?
Like if I'm telling Rose, I need the script.
Yeah.
And she will bring me the script plus pencil and 3 highlighters.
I love that.
Like she knew exactly, when I see a script, she knows that I tend to write notes, and then she knows that I like to highlight things, important things and stuff. So this kind of synergy, for me, it's a dream come true. Yeah. So
I love that. Well, we'll get to that even more later on, but well, let's get straight to the point and start from the very beginning, shall we?
Okay, let's dive into it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more relaxed right now.
Yeah, me
I'm ready
too. My
to
heart
share.
is not beating as fast anymore. But by the way, I think before we even get to that, maybe tell our listeners a little bit about how we are friends.
Yeah.
By the way, to you, are you guys wondering why are they freaking nervous? It's just another episode. Well, because we are friends and live, and it's just weird to be interviewing my friend. Like, I know you, we hang out a lot,
Yes.
but now with cameras around us, it just feels a little bit weird.
It feels weird because also I don't really like talking about myself.
Yeah, I know that. You're awkward.
Like my past and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't mind opening up to it, but I always find my life really boring. Why would anybody want to watch or listen to me share about my life? And then slowly I realized there are certain lessons in my life that I've learned that could be beneficial for others. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
knock your head against the wall that many times.
Yeah.
Instead of 50 times, maybe 20 times after maybe you've heard certain things I've shared with you. So for me, that kept me going. Like that purpose will make me feel less awkward and willing to share.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I do realize that you're a very awkward person. You're also very individualistic. I do have a story to share, actually. I think you know where we're going. So early this year, before the entire world went into lockdown, we were in Thailand for a trip. Can I share this story?
Please share it.
Okay, so we went to Udon Thani with Fresh,
Yes.
right? And right after that, we decided to extend our trip in Bangkok because the flight we had to take a stopover in Bangkok and then back to KL. But we were like, you know what, might as well. I'm so glad we did, by the way. That was my last trip of the year.
Yeah.
So we took a trip to Bangkok. It was not my first time. So I've kind of been there before a couple of times, but it was your first time.
My first time.
Right, so we checked into the hotel and I
Beautiful hotel, by the way.
Good choice, by the way. You picked the right one. I checked in, she settled into her bed, and I just put my stuff there and I realized, oh, she changed into her pajamas at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, in the evening. I'm like, okay. Also, my first time traveling with Jenn, you see, so I wasn't sure what's going on. Because in my head, we're like, ready to explore the city. Yay, I'm going to bring you around because it's your first time. And then I see her nestling into her bed with the mask on, then the pajamas on. I'm like,
Wait, this is a different mask, yeah? This is the face mask.
face mask.
The moisture one.
Not the corona mask. It's like face mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe she wants to do that first and then go out. And then she's like, oh, let's order food. I'm like, order food? Huh? Then I asked her, like, what do you mean? Oh, let's grab. I was like, oh, grab. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we're going out to explore the city and eat around. I mean, that's the regular thing to do.
Yep.
That's when I realized, oh, this girl like to do her thing. Okay. I'm quite chill because I've been to Bangkok before. And then we ordered pad thai or the Thai food from Grab. It arrived. Guess what? You want to tell the story?
Yeah, so basically I'm there nestled in my bed. I'm so comfortable. As you mentioned, I've got mask on. I've got my favorite series at that time was Suits.
Yes.
Was playing. I was so relaxed. And then the food arrived downstairs. And I'm like, Maggy, huh? Can you get it for me? So I made my friend walk all the way downstairs to get the food for me. Then bring it up. We sit down and eat together. And then I went back to the bed. And that was the first day. The first day of our extended trip.
We didn't do anything.
We didn't do anything.
I ended up going out by myself. I don't know why I extended a trip with her.
It's true. So let me just give you some context, okay? So we were doing the fresh trip, correct?
Yeah.
And intense. Every day we're waking up early, we're filming, we're creating content, and so many different sights, sounds, smells, everything new friends, new people. And then the moment we go into this hotel that's so relaxed, I just want to be a hermit just for half a day and make my friend go down and get food for me.
Honestly, it's fair. It was quite tiring, but I guess I was excited for you that it was your first time in the city, but I guess you were just super chill, which is totally fine. Now I know what kind of person or traveler you are.
Yes.
And I think we did explore the city the day after. Chatuchak. Oh, another story. I thought we were going to go Chatuchak for 2 hours lah. This girl ended up there for the whole freaking day.
Yeah, it was like,
you can
5, 6
shop,
hours.
dude.
No, not just shop, just walk around. I really enjoy. So that's the thing. I think this story shows I'm a 0 or 100%.
Yeah, it's so true. I see it firsthand.
Yeah, because if I'm going to chill, I'm going to really, really chill. But if I'm going to walk around and explore one place, I'm going to take my whole time sitting down there exploring that place. So that's just kind of my motto in life is 0 or 100.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Done with the story of a friendship. I think that gives you guys a little bit of gist of how it is.
Yeah.
But let's go back in time, like I said.
Okay, I'm ready.
We all have our beginnings and our start.
Yeah.
I want to know who was Jenn Chia before SOIMJENN that we know of today. Do you remember?
I'm not the person who really think about the past a lot. But if I were to revisit certain elements of who Yen Yi was,
Yen
right?
Yi.
Because Jen is like my glamour name. It's not my IC,
Right.
Yeah. So, because right now people call me Jen, I'm so used to that. But when people call me Yen Yi, I know I can place that person in a point of my life.
Yep.
So it's before college. So anybody who calls me Yen Yi, I know you're from my like primary school, secondary school. So who I was in college or in primary, secondary school, it was someone who very excitable, very naive, very insecure, but mask it with fake confidence.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much awareness. I was very pretentious. So that was who I was. And then right now, the change is I am still naive. I don't really know how to make friends.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm still naive.
But not in a bad way.
I'm a bit stupid lah. Let's just be real. To be honest, I'm a bit stupid lah. But I'm still excitable about life. I think I'm very happy that I still have that. Like I'm excited about projects. I'm excited about ideas. I get this tingling sensation when I figure out something. It's like a problem-solving moment for me. But right now, I feel I'm more aware about who I am. And most importantly, I am okay with being insecure.
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest change that I'm really proud of myself about. Because before this, being jealousy, insecurity, it really morphed my life into something really ugly.
Yeah.
But right now, I accept it like, okay, I'm insecure about this. I will tell you that I'm insecure about this. How can I fix that? So it's more solution-driven than ego-driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just the change that I realized.
And knowing you as a friend now, I realize that you're also a very logical person. You always find, instead of ranting about it, you're like, I need a solution right now. What do I do next?
Yeah.
Right? You don't really like rant over and complain over it for a long time. That maybe for a while, and then I gotta stop. I'm gonna find a solution.
Yeah. I realize I have gotten more logical.
Yeah.
And that I got to give it up to what I studied. So I did psychology and communications.
Yeah.
And this lecturer, Mr. Shankar, he's always said this line that I'll forever remember. It might not mean a lot to a lot of you, but for me at that time particularly, he said something like, we all have the freedom to do whatever we want, but it's the consequences that we're not willing to live by. And that got me thinking about everything in my life. Like, I could be at home right now, chilling, but I'm here.
Yeah.
But if I'm at home and I said no to doing this podcast because of my awkwardness or whatever, can I live with the thought of not sharing my life with my friend? Yeah. Can I live with that? And I couldn't. So that's why I'm here. Yeah. So this, I would say, lesson or life lesson or whatever, it kind of like propelled me to a lot of things that I do right now. Yeah. So I feel that has made me more logical.
Yeah. And I do like that about you because you are that friend that I would go to if I know I need someone to tell me the things I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Do I make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I get every time I reach out to you. Like you would tell me things I would not actually think much about, but like, yeah, you're right. Why did I think of it that way? But before, like I said, have you always been this creative? Have you always enjoyed curating videos and coming up with ideas like that? What was your very first job? Do you remember?
So this was in college. I didn't learn film. I didn't learn editing. I didn't learn anything. But I was always attracted to the idea of being able to create a video. So this was in a communications class. And I remember very clearly the lecturer said, all right, do this presentation about the courtship of how a guy chase a girl or a girl chase a guy. Like what's the stages? And then with my team, obviously I said, let's try making a video. So I was a camera woman, the director, the editor, everything on Movies Maker. The video sucked. But that kind of made me feel like, I love this. I love writing. And so I feel when it comes to creativity, I think it's because I'm attracted to people who are creative. Yeah. And when I'm surrounded by people who are creative, I get more creative and it makes me really happy. Yeah. Especially when I have a video that like, I know I've given 110%. I've been thinking about it nonstop and I execute it. It makes me happy. It's the kind of happiness that money cannot buy. I don't know how to explain this feeling to you. Like, I'm sure there's stuff that you do that you don't think about the money, but the moment it's up, for example, like this podcast, the moment it's up, that excitement is it's a fleeting moment, but it's worth everything that you put into. So for me, that's what creative has always been, being creative has always been for me from the start.
But what about singing? You sing and write songs as well.
Yeah. So that was like Yen Yi. Right?
Oh, so that's Yen Yi. Okay.
So I did grade 8 piano, and there was a lot of classical music. Yeah. And at that time, during my formative years, I started to really love pop songs. And I'm like, what if I try writing? Because at that time, I have a blog spot. And I write all the emo poem,
the poem.
And all the boyfriend break up my heart last time.
Taylor Swift.
Exactly. So, with every breakup, I would have a song.
Yeah.
And,
really?
Yes, I'm not even kidding. So if you go to my YouTube, you can see like way back when you can see, the camera angle is terrible. Okay. And I'm there singing like, I've moved on. That kind of song. Yes. So that was where the songwriting and the singing started. And then slowly I went into that. Like Yen Yi slowly went into Jenn. I was doing like singing the pop route. I was performing at open mic, stuff like that. Just, I think, you know what I love in life?
What?
Connection. I think that is predominantly what I seek for, particularly my videos as well. When I upload a video, and then when I see a comment that someone says that, I feel it, that happened to me before, or you made me laugh or something like that, I'm connecting with someone with my art. Yeah. And that to me is so valuable. So same thing with my music. Whenever I write with my heart. And when I'm able to connect with someone, especially if I'm on stage, and I can see your eyes and my eyes, we're locking, and I'm singing those lyrics to you, that to me, it's like such a wonderful feeling. So that was like my singing like history back then. Yeah. But right now, from singing to videos, it's the same kind of motivations.
Yeah. I love it. And I remember you told me that you cried on stage during the final performance at Weekends with Jenn last year.
Yes.
So I think that's what you meant by seeing so many people there driving all the way up to Genting just to see you guys.
Overwhelming.
How was that experience for you?
Okay, so here's the thing. We had Weekends with Jenn. The team curated so many videos. Yeah. So Paul, he was like, why don't we have like a gathering? And from a gathering, went to a meet and greet. And like I said, I'm a very awkward person. Yeah. I hate the idea that people are coming to see me. I find that very awkward. And I'm like, come and see me, then what? You see me take picture, then what? what happened?
Yeah.
Nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
So I realized, what if I can give you the experience that I've always wanted for myself, and that is to have activities, have giveaways, have music, all local performances, bands that I personally love and support, have a bit of shopping, have a little bit of workshop. I think learning is something that I love to kind of advocate as well. Like always, you can always learn something new. So, you know, I thought, why don't we try to make this into a mini festival? And it happened. And when I sang my last song, I look at the crowd and I'm like, it's happening. I'm singing this song to you. And when everyone is singing together, I think that kind of unison is so beautiful.
It's priceless. Money cannot buy, you're right.
Yes.
That's crazy. I'm so proud of you, you know.
Oh,
really
getting emotional.
I know, ayo, tumik but yeah, I couldn't make it to the end, but I was watching the live.
Maggy was crazy at the time. You're like, what, three things you had to do back to back?
3 events to host that day.
My goodness.
And then I got into an accident midway on the way up to
my
Genting.
gosh.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad it happened. But yeah, I watched it and I loved it. And also, you know, can I call you babe? Very weird, I call you Jenn. Yeah, babe. Because she calls me babe, Maggy.
Maggy.
Like, in this world of content creators, influencers, I think it's safe to say that not only that you've stood out with your work and your immense creativity, every time you do something, it's almost like it turns to gold. And I know you feel awkward already. Hang in there. Let me. But you've also created this whole new league of content creation. I want you to take credit for that and just say thank you. She's about to say no la, something like that. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up to that. Thank you.
So you're basically next level, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening right now, they're like nodding. Yeah, that's Jenn that I know and I love. But I know the amount of pressure on you is also quite immense every single time you put up with something. Before we get to that, I want to know, how do you get all these inspirations for all of your ideas when it comes to stuff that is so hard to sell? Maybe sometimes a moisturizer, you can come up with like 10 different storylines for it. It's insane. Down to the littlest details. I want to know if you're okay to share, like sharing your magic tricks, right? But
because it's always different every single time.
Yeah, tell us.
Let's start with inspiration. I think when you have something that no, let's not talk about that first. I don't want to talk about inspiration. I'm talking about even before that, the intention. When I'm given a brand, an opportunity to collaborate with a brand that I love or product that I love and I want to share with the world about, I must first think about the ad. The intention is to create an ad that is worth watching.
Yep.
I think right now we're bombarded by so many ads all around every single time. YouTube right now, not just one ad, 2, 3, 4, 5 ads sometimes. It's crazy. But what makes a video stand out is to make it worthwhile. You care about your audience. You care about your audience reaction. You care about your audience emotions when they're watching it. So that's the intention. I always go with that. So if you are a creator out there and you want to create something that's different, always don't be shocked sendiri. Understand that in the end of the day, this is a product that you're selling, but most importantly, you are selling to an audience, real human beings. These are not bots.
Yeah.
These are human beings with emotions. So start with that intention. Then next, the inspiration. I think inspiration comes from absolutely anywhere. Sometimes you're just sitting down and then, you hear something at a cafe or whatever, and then that just sparks inspiration. But let's talk about when you don't get inspiration. What do you do, or what do? I particularly like free writing. So I will write a scenario in my head. I just write and write. And suddenly in that free writing, somehow I get inspiration. My brain starts to unlock something. So free writing. Another thing that I absolutely love is word associations.
Yep.
So for example, if I'm selling a moisturizer, and what's so good about a moisturizer is anti-aging. Yep. So I put the word anti-aging. Where can I go? And there's no wrong answer, no right answer either. So that kind of word association breaks the mold, disrupts what's normal, and it gives you a fresh new perspective. Yeah. So that is the inspiration bit. Then after inspiration is to start to get things concrete. And this is where I have to give it up to my team for being there to ride my ass when I don't, because creative people, right? We are creative, sure. But we're also very creative with the timing.
Yes, I agree.
We like to move here, move there. Like, oh, what? 8 o'clock? I'll be there at 9:30. Creatively rocking up at 10,
But you're pretty on time.
Today lah.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, to have a team that grounds you and that like tells you, okay, that budget, we can't do that. Jenn, your $1 million idea, you can't execute that with this budget and things like that. And I want to talk about constraints. I think, yeah, you get all the money in the world to create a video. Sure, that's beautiful, magical. But when you have constraints, you get more creative. For example, you get like this video, you have an X amount of budget, but you can't go any more than that. So how can you turn this scenario to fit this budget?
Yeah.
That's when you start being creative. That's when you start, thinking out of the box to solve a problem. Yeah. So that is the execution bit. And I want to talk about the editing bit right now. This is the bit that my team hates a lot. It's because once they've done the offline, I'll come in and edit their offline. Then they do their online. So offline is just the flow, editing of the flow.
Okay.
Online is the color, the sound mixing and all of that. So offline, I got to touch.
Right.
After offline, they do online color. I have to come in. I might touch again.
Yeah.
And then I suddenly go, hey, wait a minute. We had that shot that time. Why don't we insert here? But we could be doing that in offline.
Yeah.
So I bounce back between offline, online, offline, online until I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my team for allowing me to kind of maneuver around these two stages and to create something that I'm 100% happy with. So a lot of my videos you see goes through all these processes, mostly because I really, really care about my work. And like I said, the intention. Yeah. I really care about how my audience, they're viewing the content, how they're feeling and reacting to it. So that's why we go through all these processes. And the final bit, and that is caption.
Yeah.
Sometimes my caption drives the video, and sometimes the video
drives the
caption. And the last bit, the caption, sometimes just 4 lines takes me 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Because how can you capture a thought or idea or a story in the shortest way possible? Yeah. Wow, that one is tough. So I think I just spoken for 10 minutes just about how detailed my process is like.
Yeah. I think it's nice to be able to get into your brain and pick your brain a little to see how you work behind the scenes, because we always only see the final product. It's nice to know how you get there. And I think I'm sure just that 10 minutes alone has inspired a lot of creators out there who would like to, walk in your shoes. And,
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. I want to see more creatives and creators out there pushing boundaries, because it's like mini competition.
Yeah.
And that mini competition, again, that constraint, it boosts something that lights up a fire in you.
I agree.
So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have no competition versus when you do have competitions. The drive and the passion and the fire in you is different.
Yes. So do not avoid competition. Drive towards it and try to get on top. I mean, I'm sure we always say stay in your lane. Yeah. Sure, stay in your lane. I always stay in my lane. I don't like to that is his or her genre. Yeah. I shouldn't go there. But if I do go there, I think it's important to have that respect and to talk to that person and say, hey, I'm trying this out just to let you know. Yeah. I think that is respect out of respect for the creator or even a friend. Yeah. I think that's very important.
Yeah, I do agree that respect that you have is so important, especially when, the pie is not that big here in Malaysia.
It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger.
That's great.
I believe it's getting bigger.
But, when you guys are in a pool together, I believe in collaborations than competition. Because together you can go further. Yes, alone you go faster, but when you're together, you go further together.
I totally agree. Because without my team, I wouldn't have this expansion.
Yeah, I do believe in that. But also, we were talking about inspirations and your ideas and all that. We want to talk about the Aunty Siow and the Michelle, your alter ego.
Yes.
How the hell, girl, did you come up with that character?
That's the thing. I think we all need to be very observant. And we're actually very naturally observant, but because of our social media and this and that, we're always on our phones and stuff. You can get so much inspiration by just sitting down and watching people and listening. Particularly, let's talk about Michelle.
Is it Michelle or Mersh?
Michelle.
Michelle.
When she pronounced it, it's Michelle.
Oh, it's actually Michelle.
But actually, it's Michelle. Yeah. So that character is based on a lot of actually that's based on some videos that I've watched. Yeah. Some creators out there or some influencers out there that they are good at what they do, but they overdo it. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm inspired by that, and I take hints here and there and exaggerate certain bits that I think it's funny. For example, like I just come back from the America and I'm so sorry, y'all. I just got this action. People like that, yeah. And that's why it's funny because it's real.
Yeah.
So that's Marshall, and she's obsessed with beauty. She's obsessed with feeling gorgeous, and she doesn't care about what people think, right? Then there's Aunty Siow. Now, Aunty Siow is more relatable to me because I think deep down inside, I'm Aunty Siow. And you know what? Deep down inside, a lot of people are Aunty Siow. Everyone watching right now, listening to this right now, even yourself, you got the Aunty side. I have seen it, honey.
I agree.
So that's why it's relatable. It's funny because it's from a real place.
Yeah.
So Aunty Siow is based out of an influencer's mother. I've seen she's very hip, very happening. And then as fused with one of my aunties, my personal aunties, she's very like flamboyant with her gestures, and she's very good at like getting people comfortable, making jokes. And there's a combination with this. Oh, this I gotta say. This one lady I remember, this was at Mid-Valley. I was walking towards to get ice cream, and this lady, she was on her phone, and she's very, very into getting the discount. She's talking to a friend, and she said this line that made me go like, okay, that is Aunty Siow. I have to add that in. Yeah. So she was like, oh, 快啲，一定要，哎呀，你冇啦，你冇嘈啦，我要去啊, that kind of thing. Like when she said that, it goes like, yeah, Aunty Siow is all about the good deals. Aunty Siow is all about making sure she chase there and get it now. So you get what I mean?
Get the best out of things.
Yes. So a lot of my videos, a lot of my characters come from real inspiration from real people.
I love that.
Yeah.
Is there any more coming up? Or do you have anything in mind?
I feel like I have a lot. I want to create one character that's she's trying her best to be a K-pop star.
Oh.
Like I want to create a character like that because I think it's going to be funny.
A lot of people are trying to be a K-pop star.
But this one she fails.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's so funny. Like I imagine she dyes her hair, she tries to wear the whole K-pop thing, but she no budget, but still want to make it. Yeah, so I imagine that'll be very funny.
Yeah, but I also love how Aunty Siow and all your characters, together it works. On their own, they works just as well. So
you.
Good job, babe. Seriously, so proud of you. And wow, so many questions. Sorry, I really do have a lot of questions because I got so many from all you listeners and when I put up my IG story. So I'm going to try my best within the time that we have, although it's not that much time.
I try not to talk so much as well.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
Your do, re, mi, fa, so I'm Jenn, hey. Like, that is so catchy. Like, I know when I watch that, I hear that, I know it's you. Did it take long for you to come up with it?
That was a toilet bowl moment.
You see?
So, what is a toilet bowl moment is between Paul, Rose, John and I, we know that every single time I go to the toilet, I come out like, guys, I have this idea. It's equivalent to people when they shower, then they have an idea.
Yes.
When I go to the toilet, I don't have my phone one. Some people got phone.
You don't go with your phone. Okay.
Because I'm very fast.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think I've seen it before. I went to your office and you're like, oh yeah, that, huh? What?
Yeah. So I realized like when you have nothing else but your own thoughts that you're sitting down there by yourself, somehow some magic will happen because your brain is focused on that, hyper-focused on that. You get what I mean?
But I'm usually just focused on my poop. Maybe.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get a bit gross right here, but let's just do it, okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So for me is, we're talking about shitting right now.
we're talking about shitting.
Okay. So for me is, this is to divert a bit.
Yeah.
When I go to the toilet, before I go to the toilet, it's almost crowning.
Okay.
Yeah, so the moment I go toilet, boom, done, come out. That's it.
You save time.
Yes.
Even when it comes to pooping.
Time efficient. Straight away. Don't sit down there because honestly, it's not good to just sit down there.
Yeah, it's not good.
If you don't have that potty thing.
Yeah, might get hemorrhoids.
Yeah. So I read about that and I just trained myself to reach to the limit before I go to the toilet. So yeah, I have this toilet bowl moment. Whether I am doing number 1 or number 2, when I come out, I get an idea. So Paul said that, hey, we actually need to get a toilet bowl, a toilet right next to Jenn. So whenever she doesn't have an inspiration, she just sits on that chair. There's a shape of a toilet bowl. Then she gets the inspiration, you know. So yeah, there's a little joke that we have running in the office. But I think it's the same kind of theory that when you shower, you know, sometimes you just have this idea for something and you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Your toilet bowl moments. I have been to your office and you're like, guys, I need to poop. And that was so fast.
Yes.
So now we know why.
Yes, guys. And a lot of fiber.
Okay, TMI. But okay, you know, you've done so much, babe. Like really, you have done so much. Even within this year of pandemic, when a lot of people are struggling, you could still thrive with your work and your ideas. What is your proudest project thus far? Do you have one?
I love this question, and I always answer it the same way. All my videos.
Aww.
I am forever proud with every single one. It's because every single one goes through that process, as I mentioned earlier. And at the end of it, there's no such thing as, I can't watch that video, I don't like it. Every video I rewatch it, I'll be like, I remember that why I came up with the idea and stuff. So I'm proud of all the videos that I've uploaded.
Yeah. I mean, all of them are equally as enjoyable every time
Thank
watching
you.
it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to kiss ass here, but
I don't mind.
I mean, you do come out with, like, before sometimes you post up a video, you ask for honest feedback, right? And sometimes I really got nothing bad to say, even though you keep asking for honest feedback. Babe, it's good. You can post it. It's great. And yeah, that's why I love about you, that you are always open to feedback, but you have really mastered your craft.
But with that said, I'm very, very critical. Like, I'm hypercritical.
With people that you
people
work
and
with?
myself.
Tell us more about that.
I think I want to talk about that because I feel people don't know that about me. I'm very controlling, and that's something I'm trying to tone down. But at the same time, I'm very, very critical with my work, and that's what keeps me going, because when I watch the video, a 1 millisecond that can be switched, I'm going to make sure we output again. Like, it needs to be done.
Would you say you're a perfectionist?
I feel like I am, but I don't like to say that, because a perfectionist means that person wants perfection. I don't want perfection. I want it to make sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So
okay.
I mean, it's just semantics. It's the same thing, I suppose.
For sure.
But I'm very particular about my work, and my team knows that. And sometimes I know that they are pulling their hairs, but I'm appreciative of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also very critical about other people. Let's talk about Jon.
Oh yeah,
It's a good example.
Go for it.
It's a good example.
Yeah.
Like, Jon will always say, you never give me credit. You always say whatever I do is shit.
Do you do that?
I do, because when it's shit, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Because when I say it's good, it means something.
Yeah.
So for me, I care a lot about that, because if I tell you, I give you, like, I always ask for honest feedback because
Correct.
I can take it.
Correct.
I want to know how it can be better.
Correct.
So when,
But not everybody can.
I know, that's why I'm beginning to learn that. That's the thing. That's my lesson this year, is to learn to navigate human beings' emotion, because we are talking to human beings. And just because I can deal with it doesn't mean that someone else can deal with it. So I learned to be a bit more critical of my work, but at the same time, still try to maintain emotions to be down. Because when I don't like something, I'll let you hear the difference, okay? If I don't like something, this one, guys, we have to change this right now. Like, this is how I sound like.
Yeah.
Not everyone can take it.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
But I've learned to, okay, so let's watch this together. This is the bit that I really don't understand. Can you explain to me? Like, it takes time, but it's effective. Instead of change this right now, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's easy to act on anger, but to have that awareness, it does take a lot of work as well. And the fact that you're aware is good.
Yes, I like the fact that I'm slowly becoming more and more aware of my behaviors and the way, my tone.
Yeah.
When I speak to my team, I'm beginning to learn that.
Who keeps you in check?
Jon.
And how is that coming along?
It's not easy, but it takes a lot of balls to come to me when I'm raging. But he has learned to work around it. So when I'm angry, he lets me be. But when he can feel that I've toned down, particularly if he sees me eating, it means that I'm not hangry. He'll come to me with a problem. Or like he'll tell me like, this, that, you shouldn't have said that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of keeps me in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about Jon already, let's talk about the dynamics of your relationship. Like you guys been working together for how long?
I think 5 years since we started dating.
For as long as your relationship is, right? So he is not just your other half in life, he's also the other
business
half,
partner.
business partner and the heart of the company just as much as you are. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys built this together.
Yes.
So I'm Jenn.
Yes.
Right?
So I'm Jenn Berhad. It's because of Jon.
Because of Jon.
Because of Jon.
Tell us more.
Because before this, I was just all doing by myself, alone. Like you said, I'm individualistic, a lone ranger. I always, I mean, I would say it's an ego thing. I don't like to rely on other people when I want to try
ask for help.
Yeah, I want to try and do it myself. Because if I can fix it myself, then faster. Because I know I won. But Jon said we need to slowly like take this seriously because I believe in you. And when Jon said that, I broke down and I'm like, are you serious? I don't believe in myself. I don't. Oh, I'm getting emotional. I don't want to get emotional. Okay.
It's a safe space for honest conversation. So
yeah,
if you need
but
to cry,
when I
go
get
ahead.
emotional, I don't stop, man.
Ayo.
Okay, so calm down. Okay. So, Jon let go of his dream of becoming a musician or a well-known musician to pursue this with me. And I will always remember that. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I get angry with him and I forget. But it's because of him that started. He had no experience with business and stuff, but he went through all of that for an entire year, learning about how to set up a business for me, for us. And then from there, he was also the one that started like, okay, let's hire people and let's get the new office. It's always him pushing me, and not just him, my team as well, pushing me to the next level.
Yeah.
So, earlier when you said that, you're creative and stuff like that, but I can't express my creativity without them.
Yep.
So I agree with you, collaboration versus competition. But I think you need both. And collaboration with your team, competition, a bit of competition, healthy competition with people, and that will propel you further. Yeah, so that's kind of like history. I feel like I owe it to Jon and my team for whatever that I am or whoever that I'm trying to be. Yeah.
Shout out to Jon.
And Paul and Rose.
Yeah. But have you guys ever struggled with the blurred lines, working and living together, and what was that like for you guys starting out and where you guys are now?
Starting out was like a relationship, like at the first 3 months, 6 months, it's kind of like rosy, it's kind of exciting. We're going to work together.
Butterflies in the stomach.
Yeah, like, oh, we go work together, we feel very nice, But then after that, you begin to see the cracks. And when push comes to shove, it gets quite heated. So I believe last year I did break up with Jon for about a month. You were there.
I think it was 2 years ago, babe.
Oh shit.
2018,
Sorry, 2 years ago, not last year.
We were in Singapore.
Yes. So that was 2 years ago. I did break up with Jon. That was because we blurred the lines.
Yeah.
We stopped spending so much time together. Weekends were just weekdays.
Work.
With the word ends. Yeah. And it was tough because we no longer love each other.
At that time.
I mean, when I say love, I don't mean like the conventional love. I mean like we don't love each other as boyfriend, girlfriend. We love each other as business partner.
Yeah.
So it's a very different kind of
like
way of
I like
seeing.
to work with you, but that love we once had, that
Forgotten.
innocent,
So after that 1 month, we tried to revisit being together again. And that was when, we realized we both need our own interests. So that when we come back, we're not talking about the same thing, not talking about the same client or whatever. So he did his own thing. I started making friends.
That is very true. I think that was around the time we got closer again.
Yes, because I've always been like, like you said, I'm logical because a lot of things in my head.
Yes.
And I resolve things in my head.
Yeah.
And so I was so egotistical to think that why should I talk to someone about it when I fixed it? Why should I connect with someone? Why should I waste my time?
Yeah.
And that kind of thought process has kind of like been for a couple of years, and I stopped having friends. But then after that, after the breakup, I realized I had no one to call. I don't know what to do. And that's when I slowly opened up myself. And then we got back together with Jon and I told I'm going to try making friends. And that's when I slowly cultivated friends. I think I told you before, I don't know how to be friend. How to be friend.
The first few times I think we hung out she doesn't really you don't really talk about your problems. You're worried to project your stress onto other people. I don't want paise you, but I'm like, babe, that's what we are friends for.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as paise.
Yeah.
You know, we are each other's support system.
You taught me friendship 101.
A little bit basic.
Actually,
I'm not the best but you know, I also don't have a lot of friends, but when I do have, I think I treasure them. You know, it's really quality over quantity at this point of my life.
I think one thing I want to mention about you, Maggy, is that you have the ability for people to want to open up to you.
Do I?
That's why this podcast works. That's why I believe in this podcast, because you have this ability that you're good at, whether you're listening or pretending to listen. Yeah, but people want to share it with you. And I think that's not a skill. That's innate.
Thank you.
I think that's a wonderful thing. And I'm slowly becoming more comfortable and you're able to do that.
Yeah. And you do that for me too. You are quite a good listener. I feel like I'm not a good enough listener, but you know what? Anyway, I'm always learning from this woman I tell you. Seriously, okay, golden advice for those of our listeners who are looking into getting into a business with a partner. Yeah, I think we need that because I think both of us have gone into businesses with our partners. But what is your golden advice?
Okay, my golden advice is know that it's not going to be easy. People say it's not easy and you go nah, it's all right. I know him, he knows me. Trust me, it's not. It's not going to be easy. You're going to hate each other and you're going to have to go home and not be able to bitch about each other to, someone else. And so my opinion is, my advice is know that it's going to be difficult and draw boundaries. So for me is weekends, we're going to try our best to have at least one brunch date or something just to be together. And it's inevitable. You guys will somehow, the conversation will lead to work-related topics. You got to catch each other. And you have to be very gentle and say, baby, go there already. Don't want lo. And I was like, oh yeah, something like that. I think that kind of honesty and that kind of comfort of being able to open up and say, don't do that. You've done that. Yeah. Instead of, you talk about work again. Yeah. Instead of that kind of tonality, you change it to, baby, don't talk about work lah.
Yeah.
It's a different take.
Yes, for sure. I think I mentioned this before that your choice of words and in this case your choice of tone is so important.
I agree.
It makes or break a conversation, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and that was a very good piece of advice. I mean, as cliche, it could sound cliche to some of you. Yeah, I already know that, but to put into practice is another thing.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think with social media and all of that, people make success seem so easy. Everything macam, been narrowed down into just a picture perfect photo or a 1 minute video. 1 minute video anyway, very easy to do one. Have you ever struggled with being not good enough?
I'm always not good enough.
That's what you feel?
I always feel that. Always feel that. And it's a bad but good thing as well. Yeah. The bad thing is I will never be fully satisfied with my work. Never. I'm proud of them, but I always feel like things could have been better.
There's always room for improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
Because when someone says the video is perfect, but I know something can be better. But at the same time, not being good enough, it keeps me humble. Yeah. It means if I want if I see a video there, I know that I want to make it better. And so that keeps me going. Yeah. So not being good enough in terms of videos or in terms of my work, for sure. Yeah. But in terms of who I am, it's different. So my work Jenn and Jenn nestled in the bed, chilling out is different.
That's the Jenn I know.
Yes, different. Because the work Jenn she is gung-ho, she's aggressive, she wants to make things happen, she is critical. But the real Jenn, chill lah.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, get the Grab for me lah, get the food for me lah. Relax lah, I don't do anything. So so there's the two sides of who I am. Yeah. So
it's funny because you talk about the work Jenn to me sometimes, but I cannot imagine seeing that because I've not actually experienced that myself as a friend. Because I only know you as a friend.
Yes.
And I like that. I don't have to you can complain about your work to me and then I can just listen without having... Because I think if I were to be in both, like would see that side of you, maybe I would feel differently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, so I'm so nervous about that.
Because I also have my work side that
I want to see that also.
Not nice, I tell you. Like, very nasty.
Nasty.
But I think we've spoken about your ideas, your inspiration, how you work with Jon, how you make it work with your team. Let's talk about the part where you mentioned that you hit depression really hard this year. And when that happens, how do you stay focused? How do you stay disciplined? Because it's so freaking hard to do, to just even wake up in the morning, especially, I think this year was exceptionally hard for a lot of people. I'm sure you included. So how do you stay focused despite feeling heavy, stressed, demotivated? How do you keep going?
Okay, so I always let myself feel that when I'm given the opportunity to. So when I'm really down and I hate myself, I feel like I'm shit, which is a lot of days I wake up feeling like that. When it's really bad, I let myself cry, let myself go to the sofa, and for half day, I don't touch my phone, I don't talk to anyone. Or if I have the whole weekend, I kind of oversensitize my brain by watching countless shows. So, you know, after binge watching, you become this zombie.
Yes.
Right?
Once you start, you can't stop.
So I allow myself go through that. I allow myself to eat ice cream, go through that, eat my asam laksa, go to sleep, wake up, watch the show, eat asam laksa again, go to sleep, that kind of thing. But then after that, after desensitizing your system overload, you start to feel, oh, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of feeling like this. That's when you want to do something about it. So that's how I get myself out of it. One way, when, like I said, given the opportunity. But when I can't, let's just say it's a Monday and it's crunch time, we got things to do, what keeps me going is my team. My sense of responsibility to make sure I'm there for my team when they need me keeps me going. So when I am, you know, I sense that I'm going to get there. Because, you know, when you have gone through it a couple of times, you can kind of like, you know the signs, right? So when I wake up and I feel that, okay, I get that. But then at the back of my head, I know it's Monday. I know my team needs me. That's when I get up and go. And then if that feeling revisits me during the weekend, then I go through that process of not talking to anyone and be a hermit.
Because, you know, I guess the Jenn that we see on social media, you're always so super hyper and you're so happy. You're so there. Your energy level is always so high. So I think it's nice to know that you're human too, that you go through your down times.
I think a lot of people, they're beginning to be aware that people who are always happy all the time, they only show you that side.
Correct.
And for me, you know, I just want to show you my happy side when I feel happy. When I don't, I just don't do anything.
Correct.
So I do get some messages and say, how do you stay positive all the time? I can't. You can't humanly stay positive all the time. And those who say, just be positive lah, I want to slap them because you can't always be positive. You can be realistic all the time, sure, but you can't be positive all the time. So don't tell me that.
You will have downtimes. We are humans, you know.
Exactly. So that to me, you know, when I feel down, those are the ways that I kind of like keep myself up.
And those are very practical human ways to do it. Anyone
don't know correct or not, but it's my way. Like.
If it works for you, it works for you, right? But again, find what works for you. Like for me, I do the same thing. Like I just binge watch. I cry the hell out of it. I call my friends. Sometimes I call you. Sometimes you don't pick up because you're also going through stuff. You know, like it's totally fine. Just find your ways to let it out. But I think recently, you showed a different side of you. On social media, a vulnerable side, like you said, like we saw tears, we felt your heart broken. It was about a certain brand, without going into details, your ideas being stolen. Is that right?
Okay. So I'll give some context.
Go ahead.
I don't really want to talk about it too much because I'm still dealing with it.
For sure.
Emotionally, I'm still it's quite dented. My ego is dented. And my self-esteem got a hit, right? But to cut a long story short, basically my video, I uploaded for the brand. There was a tagline that was being used without my consent. And that tagline, you know, for example, like McDonald's, I'm loving it. there's no McDonald's word, but just that line, I'm loving it, you know it's McDonald's.
Correct.
Or just do it, Nike,
Yeah.
bam,
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
So to me, those like slogan or catchphrases and stuff, it's my intellectual property if I came up with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I'm going to invest my time in this year is to speak to a lawyer and also to educate creators out there about intellectual property. I didn't know anything. Again, I told you I'm naive and stupid, right? But when I saw that phrase being used elsewhere, it broke me like, am I being dramatic about this? And all forms of logic was just out of the window. I just felt like a piece of my heart was taken out of me. And it's people would think that it's dramatic.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't sleep for days sometimes just to think about a concept. I write those words and it takes me weeks. So when I see a brand or,
It's okay, take your time.
Can I have tissue, please?
Yes, we are coming.
Yeah.
Tissue, please.
So, when someone takes that away from me, it's a very personal journey. You know who should sponsor this?
Tissue.
Tissue brand.
Actually, that's a good one.
Right? Put it right here. Sure, because, head over heels, you get real and serious about things. So, as I was saying, it's a very emotional journey for me because it takes so long.
Yeah.
So, but from that experience, I've learned that through the times that brands or people have just kind of been inspired by my content, I can't shut up anymore. And I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
And also Jon was there. Again, Jon being a pivotal role, he already told me that, just, baby, get a lawyer. Lawyer up. And at least get yourself educated. If this time we can't win it, just know that next time you know what to do.
Yep.
And the solution side, thinking about being more solution driven has lit a fire.
Yeah.
And that, got me to know a lot more from lawyers, from so many creatives go through that.
Yeah.
So many creatives, their ideas being stolen and they're not backed by anything. They have no money. They can't get a lawyer. What do we do?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for solutions for creatives out there. And I don't ever want anyone to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
Because I've read so many messages, not just, people who are doing YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. There are also like agencies, clients stealing their ideas and getting someone cheaper to do it. To execute the content or concept. That is unfair. And we need to find a solution to that. Yeah. And I'm very, very passionate about this because, just because I clock out of work, it doesn't mean that my brain stopped thinking about video for you or scripts for you. And I know a lot of creatives go through that. Sometimes you don't stop. You just keep going until you have your tolerable moment and you're finally happy with the concept that you get. And that takes days, sometimes weeks just to perfect. So that was the episode.
Yeah.
That showed my vulnerable side. And like I said, I'm still emotional about it because I'm not logical right now.
Yeah.
I can't be logical right now because, like I said, a piece of my heart is taken out from me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're listening or you're watching right now. If ever in your life this has happened to you before, you're allowed to be emotional. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to be emotional for a while, but don't do anything about it. Just let you be emotional right now because. I think my mistake is this has happened to me so many times. I always tell myself, nah, never mind, just let it go.
Yeah.
But I've never given myself a chance to really process it. And so this time, it's like completely bottled up.
Yeah.
And it exploded.
Accumulated
and
emotions.
This feeling that I'm feeling right now and that you're hearing so emotional right now, it's a cumulative experience of having my heart taken out just like that, just been stolen just like that.
Yeah.
So I hope that nobody goes through this.
Yeah. And I'm very proud of you and on behalf of everyone else to, just thank you for standing up for not just you. You are not just doing it for you. Know that you are also doing it for the community out there, for, young creators who have no voice. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And And thank you for opening up. And it's okay to be vulnerable, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that just goes to show how much you've grown as a person. I think before this, you wouldn't even break down like that. You would keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I will break down by myself to myself.
Like you wouldn't do it
with anybody.
Yeah.
Or even with those who follow me and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really show that side because I don't like to show that side. But now I realize that it's important to show that side for other people to know that there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you believe in something so much, you should go for it.
And fight for it.
And fight for it. Because if you don't, if it happens again, these bottled up emotions will explode and you have no way of healing, or it takes even longer. Like right now for me, it takes even longer to heal.
Yeah.
So very important to deal with difficult emotions when it comes.
Yeah. Work through the hard shit. I think that's very important.
That's right.
And are you feeling okay?
Yeah. I'm actually very good at like compartmentalizing.
That one I know.
I always like to, when I'm feeling emotional or whatever, I always like I said, tissue brand need to sponsor this episode. I think that's why I love comedy.
Yeah.
Because comedy really gives you that short, albeit short relief to some very difficult or disturbing emotions. And I love comedy. And I've always said this, that my work, whenever somebody tells me that, they have a terrible day and they message me about it, it brings meaning to what I do when I'm able to connect with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like make them feel a bit better.
Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of people attract to what you do. That
Thank you so
not
much.
only they relate to it, they feel it, but it makes someone's day. Kan? Well, it's also safe to say that you are at this point of your career right now that you have a choice when it comes to choosing the brands and people that you work with. And I know not a lot of, especially young creators, or when you first started out, you didn't have that choice. Would you agree with that? Or does it not apply to you?
I think for me is ethics. So if I don't believe in something, I can't promote it.
Yeah.
For example, if I don't believe in a vlogging camera because the auto focus is slow as shit, and like I'm not going to let anybody buy it because I don't come from a rich family. So if I imagine if I watch a video of this influencer saying this vlogging camera is so good and I save all my money, 2,000 ringgit, 2,500 ringgit, whatever, to buy that camera and it's shit.
Yeah.
I imagine someone go through that, I can't sleep at night. So it's my conscience. So right from the beginning of my career, I had to say no to a big camera brand. It was difficult. They did say, in some ways, paraphrasing, who do you think you are? And those type of things. Client pay you, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Those kind of very condescending statements. But that difficult experience propelled me to have more of ethics. So because I believe when you have integrity, it lasts longer. People who follow you or watch you or believe in the products that you stand by, there's more value to it instead of being like a brand whore. Whatever brand comes, you just say yes.
I agree.
It's difficult, especially like I said right at the beginning of my career. It was difficult because it was a big brand and it felt like a big break for me. Yeah. But I had to say no and had to suffer the consequences, but I was willing to. So that was then. Right now, same kind of thing. If I do not believe in a product, I won't. But how do I say yes to, collaboration? The first thing is I need to love the product. That's given. Number two is I need to love the content direction or, the flexibility of content direction.
Yep, I agree with that. Because not all brands allow you to do what you want to do.
Exactly. I'm sure you have your fair share of that experience. We're looking at each other because we know.
We know the story, but yeah.
Yep. So there's that. And number two is content direction. And number three is whether my audience will react to the product and content being fused together. So these are the three main things. And if you can see, it's not so much about the money.
Yeah.
It's always about whether or not I can make an incredibly memorable video for my audience. So I would say these are my criteria for saying yes to a collaboration with a brand or a company.
And that speaks volume because that shows why you have what you have today. You have the numbers, you have your creativity and that longevity in what you do, because a lot of people just kind of fizzle out after a while. But you
I'm
just
scared
keep
of that.
Oh, I also scared lah.
Right.
Don't like that lah. But but if you keep doing what you do, you stand by your principle and your values, that like what you said. I mean, you would just continue to inspire even more people.
Yep. Because like I said, right at the start, the intention.
Yes.
The intention is for your audience.
Yeah.
And without my audience, I'm not here.
Yeah.
So I always make sure my content is dedicated to my audience instead of just shock and theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have talked a lot. We are coming to the end of the episode.
Okay.
So I do have a lot more, but I don't know, part 2 or whatever. But the last few questions that I think I have to ask before I wrap it up, okay? Jenn, a lot of people look up to you I look up to you as a friend. Our listeners look up to you as this content creator. But who do you look up to in life?
Stephen Chow.
Hey, what's his Chinese name?
Zhao Xingqi.
Zhao Xingqi. Okay,
Yes.
tell us why.
He is my idol. His comedic timing. The way, and that's the thing, like we see it on screen. He's so funny. He's so dedicated to his roles, which makes it sometimes even funnier. But when you see him behind the scenes, he's actually quite different. And he's quiet, he's quirky, he's very focused on his work, and I relate to that 110%. So he is my idol. My dream is to meet him in person. I met Michelle
Michelle Yeoh?
not Michelle Yeoh. Michelle, I don't know her Chinese name, but from when I did a Hong Kong series, a short little Hong Kong video,
okay,
right?
Okay.
I met her and then she said, yeah, 我睇過星爺.
Xing Ye.
And I was like, really? So I've kind of met Xing Ye by proxy. Wow, I'm so excited, you know my heart. Whoa. I was like, what? 你真係見過佢高唔高㗎？佢係點高㗎？佢係咁樣啊？ You know what I mean? So I'm so excited. I have so many stickers, WhatsApp stickers of him. Like 你俾到我少少時間啦，其實我都係演員嚟㗎。Those type of stickers, I have it. Peggy, if you're watching this, thank you for sending it to me. I love him so much. Like he's my idol.
Wow.
He's really my idol.
I think he should totally meet you. We should make this happen. I don't know.
Oh my god,
tag him.
星爺，我喺度啊！
你嘅 fans 喺度啊 Okay, yeah, I think that's really cute because I wouldn't have expected him to be your idol. I mean, I know
who's your idol?
Actually, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know who was my idol.
Don't know, right?
I have a few, but right off the bat right now, I can't think of one.
It's not easy to have an idol.
Yeah.
It's because you have to like completely relate to that person and you feel like you can be that person.
Yeah.
Then, you idolize that person.
Yeah, because like I have idols for different parts of my life.
Yes.
So I don't have one person that I idolize wholly. Yeah. Anyway, it's not about me today. It's about you.
Really? I'm very shy. I always talk about me.
Last few questions,
Okay,
Jola.
okay.
Finish it, okay?
Tola.
I know this definition of this word will continue to evolve as we continue to grow as a person.
Okay.
But right now, at this point, what does success mean to you? After having what you have now?
I think happiness. Because happiness is such a fleeting moment. It's easier to be contented. But if I can feel happy all the time, that to me is success. If I can go to the office and smile and say, 大家好，早晨啊, earnestly,
Yeah.
I feel that is success to me. Monetary wise, if I can order Grab food without thinking about the delivery fee and also the total sum, that is success to me. If I can go out, have lunch with you girls, I say I want to cover the bill and not feel the pinch, that is success to me. So I realize and no longer look at I must get the 1 million ringgit, 2 million ringgit, 10 million ringgit, whatever.
Living comfortably.
Since the MCO, as I mentioned, when you start like realizing how little you need to survive, those have kind of changed my ideas or ideals about what success means.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Snap.
All right, so the final question. I don't want you to go, babe. I really don't.
I'm actually slowly beginning to enjoy this.
Right?
Yeah, wait.
Part two. Okay, with John, that would be nice. Sorry, we got excited. That was our friend language.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, let me come back.
The right English.
If you could see and meet younger you, Yen Yi, right now, Yen Yi walks into the room and just looks at you.
looking at her, judging her right now.
Okay, imagine. I know you need to visualize. What would you tell her? Advice. It's like, hey, Jen, I know you're from the future.
I know I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yan Yi, cut your hair short. You can work it. That's it. Yeah, that's what.
Honestly, you're rocking this hair. I love it. I love it on you.
Because, I mean, there's a lot of different layers. Yeah, like that, a lot of layers. Cutting hair short, right? A lot of girls, they're afraid of it because, like, but I lose my femininity, you know? But when you have the balls to cut your hair short, it means that you're okay with your femininity and your masculinity. I feel that. And just because you have short hair doesn't mean you can't be sexy. Yes. Right? So cut your hair short, you have the balls to do that. And that's one. Cutting your hair short also means that you dare to be different.
Yeah.
Because I remember last time Yan Yi, she was such an impressionable little girl, you know. Her hair was long like this because the most popular girl in school had long hair.
I watched the Crazy Bra Lady video, yes.
Yeah, you saw the hair long, right?
Super long lashes.
Luscious hair, always curly one. Yeah, so that was Yan Yi. She didn't dare to step out of her comfort zone. She didn't dare to cut her hair. So Yan Yi, from the past, cut your damn hair.
Love it. Well, that's a great piece of advice. I know hair is nothing, for us girls it's everything, okay?
Yeah, actually guys these days, slowly, all the oppa hair is everything
right?
also.
Park Seo-joon, the best lah. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go there. But babe, thanks so much for coming here.
Thank you so much for asking me
I
for
hope
this.
you enjoyed that session.
I actually didn't expect to enjoy it.
Really?
I expected to be nervous throughout, but
right?
you got me comfortable halfway through and I got to share more and be more vulnerable. Thank you so much.
Can you show them the piece of paper you have before we go? So Jen walked in with this piece of paper. I sent her the amount of questions. She wrote in her own notes. I said, no need, huh?
Yeah, so just want to show you, like, she didn't ask,
you watch us on YouTube, by the way, if you
questions.
don't know.
She didn't put all the questions here, but I did like write down certain things because I don't want to just
you
ramble on.
Oh my God.
So I highlighted, I want to make sure this podcast is worth your time. I don't want to just come here and just talk my grandfather's story and you don't learn anything if you're listening or watching this. So yeah, and then I asked the crew, is it very ugly I put here? Yeah. Then they didn't want to answer me. They maybe didn't dare to tell me lah. So I was like, oh, okay lah, put down lah. So yeah.
But yeah, I think without the paper, you did totally fine. Thank you so much. And to those of you who have no idea who Jen is, well, go follow her on Instagram. That's very probably won't not know her lah, huh? It's SOIMJENN. And yeah, thanks for coming, and maybe in the next round we'll have you again.
Yes, we could have Jon as well.
Oh yeah, that would be
and
nice.
Joe as well.
Oh yes. Oh wow, double dates. All right guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and today's episode of Head Over Heels might have gone past our usual time, but I hope you enjoyed that piece. And yeah, so I'm Jen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care guys.